Welcome back, folks. Today I'm going to assemble my knee walls I got right here. They go up there. Both sides will have a vaulted ceiling, so that covers that little area. Once I get those installed, then I'll start putting the rafters up there, well, one, and mark it, and that'll be the template for the rest of them. And that way I can mark them and cut them all out. All right, let's get started. Okay, I got those built. Now let's get them up there. Okay, got this side all nailed in and in place, looking good. And I got the other one leaning up there, ready to toss up there. Okay, got that all nailed off and in place. Let's look at the other side here. And there you go. That wall right there is where the collar ties are going to sit down on top of it. So that'll be the ceiling. It'll go up that high, come across the collar tie until you hit the rafter, and then the rafter will come on down. And that'll be the roof line, so, or in this case, ceiling line. So yeah. Alright, cool. Now that I got that in place, now I'll be ready to, I gotta get a rafter up there and kind of mark it where it needs to be marked at. And that'll give me a template. But once I get that done, then I can put the ridge beam up there and get all that in place. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, got that rafter up there. I just put a board right here, level with the top plate, and a board on the outside. That way it can have a notch for that rafter to sit in. And then once I got the top where I wanted it, which I'll go up there and show you that, I marked it up there, and then I came down here and marked the bird's mouth right there. So I just followed the top plate right there. And I'll show you the top here real quick. Just got it clamped off up there, so I was kind of hurrying. But this way you can get an exact measurement, so to speak. Because I know math never lies, but when you start building things, it can get out of square and it can kind of grow a little bit, and then you put an exact measurement up there and you're like, oh man, this don't fit. So I like to do it this way. That way you get an exact measurement. And you know, this part of the building is the longest part. It's like a 1/4 inch off, so I might have to cut some of these. See right here, I marked it. But I may have to cut like an 1/8 inch off of this side as I'm going along. But I'd rather be a little bit long. And that's the thing, when you cut these rafters, you can cut them just a little bit long if you want to. That way, when you do put them up there, they will become the right measurement, because you don't want it to be short. That's unfortunate. I mean, the whole board would be wasted then. Okay, let me get this off of here and continue on. Okay, so now that I got the board down, I can relax a little bit. So that board, that 2x4 that's up there, that represents the height with the ridge beam on there. But I figured it'd be easier to mark it like I did without the ridge beam up there, because that way I could get the rafter in front of it and then draw the line. So, but how you get that number is, if it's a 5/12 pitch, which it is, you take the 5 and times it by, like this building's 30, so half of that distance is 15 feet. So I took 5 times 15 and it gave me 75. So that's what that board, that's how long it is. And then your run is your rafter length. But I got a calculator on my phone that shows you what that length is, but it only brings it from the top of the ridge, you know, all the way to the side of your building. So if you have any overhang, you have to add that to it. But I'll show you that when I lay it down. When I got it on the table, and I can show you with the tape measure, I'll show you the calculator that I use and what it looks like when you're laying it out. But anyway, I just want to get it exactly marked off that way, because like I said, the building can grow on you as you're building it. Even with exact measurements, you can get out of square a little bit, which my foundation did. It was a 1/4 inch off on the front side, not the back. So instead of being 30 feet, it's 30 feet and 1/4 inch. So I had to take all that into account when I still divided it in half, but I still went with, on the calculator, I still went with 15 feet, but that's why I wanted to mark it exact up there with the rafters. Plus you get a better measurement, Max. You get a better reading. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling, so let's continue on. Okay, so I cut this board. This is up by the ridge beam. So this board is just like that. I'm just trying to show you. So you cut it and you flip it around. See? So now that angle, sorry you can't see. That angle and that angle is the same. Now you can bring this board that you cut off all the way down here to your bird's mouth. So there's a bird's mouth right there. Can you see it? There's a sun block in there. Just can't tell on the camera. Anyway, the bird's mouth is right here. And this angle is the same angle. So you get your board all lined up. So that's the same angle there. And then, like I was saying, when you look at the calculator, it only gives you the length of that board to this point. So you add a foot to it. So I showed you, ouch. So this is a foot, but then you got to come back 1.5 inches, and that's actually your mark. And then when you add your fascia board on there, it gives you back the 12. That's how you do it. So cut it here, cut out your bird's mouth, and then that board will be done. You do it, like in this case, 31 more times, because that's how many I gotta do, 32 total. So anyway, so that's how you do it. And just to show you the calculator, let's see if I can pull it up. So it's mycarpentry.com, but if you just type in rafters, like rafter calculator, this is what comes up. So there's your rise, even shows you what your rise is. So this is your rise. Over here where we can see it. So your rise goes up, and then your run is the distance, like I was saying, for the half your building. And then when you put those numbers in there, so mine, like I said, mine's 75 and 180, rise and run. And then down here it shows you, okay, so your pitch is 512, your degree is 22.6, and then your rafter length is 195. And it even shows you, so from right there, basically at the top of the ridge beam all the way down to that bird's mouth is 195. It shows you right there. So that's pretty cool. And it kind of tells you, you can kind of figure out, like, oh, okay, I need to buy, like in my case, I had to buy a 20-foot board to cover the distance, because you got the angles and all that. But so you can take that 195 and times it back by 12, or divide it by 12, I think it is. Let's see, 195 5 by 12. So 16 1/4 inch. 16 feet and 1/4 inch. So that's how you know. But that's only, you gotta add a foot to that. So it's 17 1/4. So that's why I got 20s. So I have plenty of length because your ankles. Anyway, so that's how you do it. Pretty cool, huh? So, alright, well, let's continue on. Well, now I'm going to go ahead and cut all these rafters out, all 32 of them. And that means they'll all be ready. And then I'll have to put the ridge beam up there and get it ready. I don't want to put it up there until I get rid of the rafters all cut. That way I can start putting them up immediately once the ridge beam's in place. Alright, let's continue on. Okay, got these rafters all cut, finally. When I showed this to you the other day, I failed to mention cutting the other part of the tail here. Oh, sorry. I failed to mention this the other day that you got to cut your fascia part of your board too. So my fascia is going to be a 2x6 and this is a 2/8 board, so I cut it down to 5.5. But anyway, these, I got 4 boards that look just like this with a notch, and that's for a 2x4. And that's going to give me my overhang in the front and in the back. And the rest of them are all right here, all cut out, ready to go. So now I got to get my ridge beams ready, and then I can start putting things up there where they belong. Let's continue. Okay, made some progress. So far, all I did was cut the 2x4. I cut off 9 1/4 inches. That's the length, the width of the ridge beam. I did that, and then I measured down from there, so I know what my height is for these two 2x4s, and I cut those, installed those, put bracing around them, and then I took the beam up there and set it in place. And now I'm gonna check both sides and make sure it's right where I want it, and then I'll start putting a rafter up there to, well, first I'll screw it in place, then I'll put a rafter up there on each end and start working my way across. Okay, made more progress. Got my collar tie on that one there for that next set of rafters you see there. That's about how it's going to look as I go across. Let's keep going. Alrighty, well, made some more progress today. Got 2 more on each side, so total of 4 more rafters installed. Got the braces on, 2 more collar ties. Looking good. Let's flip it around this way and show it to you. Maybe you can see it better. There you go. Darn, look like a truss up there now. All right, keep going. Okay, got another 4 rafters up there today. Let's look at it from this side. Really starting to take shape now. Let me get back way over here so we can look at the whole thing. There we go. And that's a 5/12 pitch. That's what it looks like. All right, looks pretty cool. Keep working on it tomorrow. All right, got the last 2 rafters over there installed, and I got the ridge beam carried out the rest of the way. All right, let's keep going. All right, got another 4 rafters put up there. Let's get over here and show it to you. All right, there we go. I think that's a pretty good angle. There we go. Looking pretty good. Yep. Keep on going. Okay, I just want to show you how I've been installing these. So I just take a 2x4. It's the length to sit on top of this wall and go into the ridge beam. I just put 1 screw in it right there, and then I can put this board that looks like the rafter. I mean, this was a tail that got cut off the rafter. I can set it up there like that, and it holds it. And then I can take my nail gun, put it on top, put 1 nail that goes toenail in at an angle like that, and then from there I can just nail on the sides, 3 on each side, toenail it as well. And that's how I do the head up here on the ridge beam. But This really helps a lot because I can just literally set the board on there and I can let go of it, and then I can grab my gun, and then I can kind of maneuver it around. Like say it's off this way or this way for the line, I can kind of tweak it and then nail it. So it really helps to not have to hold that rafter up. I know sometimes you won't have the ability because you don't have no wall there, because a lot of times these things are they're just basically freestanding up here. The only thing holding them up is the rafters, but you can figure out a way to do that. Even put a little strip down here, maybe going long ways. It just helps a ton as you're doing it, especially if you're doing it by yourself. Okay, got 4 more rafters up there, 2 more collar ties, and all the braces on the sides and whatnot. All right, looking good. All right, got another 4 up there today. Coming along nicely. I have 8 more on this side and 8 more on that side, and I'll be done. Got all the rafters up there and installed. All right, thank goodness for that. That was a lot of work for one person to take on. So basically what I did was get in here where I can show you a little bit better. But basically I just take 2 boards that went on that side and laid them up there, and then 2 boards that went on this side, laid them up there. Then I got up there and nailed them to the ridge beam, all 4 of them. Then I would get down and nail the tails, I call it, on the rafter and block it on each side. Then I'd get back up there and, you know, I'd cut my collar ties and put 2 of those up there for those 4 rafters, nail them all in, and then I'd put the 2x8 brace, 2 of them on each side. And so doing all that basically was like putting 4 rafters up. I did that in like a 3-hour period before going to work. So, and I just kept that pace, 4 every day until I got done. So that worked out pretty good. Now on these little notches you see, I'll be putting 2x4s there. They'll nail to this second one from the end, and then nail on top of that one and then stick out. And that stick out will be their overhang for the front and back of the building. Then you'll have the same overhang all the way around. But after that, I'll put the fascia board on, and then I'll be ready for OSB. But all that will be on the next video, so stay tuned for that. Let's look over here real quick. Looking pretty good. So yeah, I'm definitely ready to get the roof on this thing. All right, well, I'm gonna end this video right here. Thanks for watching. Till the next one.